Hey y'all, I thought I'd drop in and give you an updated review of the Marmot Tungsten Ultralight 2-person tent. I have now used it for 3 years. It's still just as good a tent as it was when I first reviewed it. I really have no qualms. I have no reason to not ever carry this tent. It has served me very well. The only little tiny issue I had was last year when I did a through hike of the Foothills Trail. We got into some pretty good rain overnight, bad thunderstorms. I mean, we actually kind of feared for our lives at one point. But the rain was coming down just so hard. And I started getting a few drips in on the ribbon here. These are the tie back for the door. It goes all the way through this seam. There are 4 of them, one for each door. And started getting a little bit of wicking water. It came in and it would drip. Pretty sure it was wicking through that ribbon. If I could get this back here, through the seam, through the ribbon, and then it was just kind of running down, dripping off that. And like I said, it didn't drip. It didn't drip all night. It was only during the heaviest rains, and it would just drip every little bit. It actually would hit the screen and then run down. It never came inside and got on me. That's the only thing that I have had go wrong with this tent. And since that time, I purchased some. It was a water-based sealant that you can get from Walmart, and it's got an applicator. And I just soaked the ribbon, each one of these ribbons, with it, just to make it waterproof, and did the same on the inside. Hopefully that'll alleviate that. But even if it doesn't, it's not even enough to be concerned with. But I did want to go ahead and kind of remedy that. Also, at times, I may not get it pitched just right, and one of these sides here will be just a little bit loose and might flop in the wind if the wind's blowing pretty good. I could do a better job of staking that. And then same thing on these ends. I've really not had any issue with this. These are just a little bit loose at times, and again, it goes back to how I've got it staked out. But I ended up I just stitched on a little loop of string, and just in case, if it was real windy and it was raining at the same time, I'd be kind of just concerned that it might blow this in and start causing that to wick through a little bit. So I went ahead and just put this on each end, so I can get a stick and poke it down and hold it out just a little bit. I may go back and reinforce that better. That's not the best stitching job. But overall, it's still it's a great tent. If something ever happened to this tent, I likely would buy the exact same one again. That's how much I love it. It's got the perfect amount of room for me. It's not ultralight, as some people would say, ultralight's under 2 pounds. This is not. I think it's 3.5 pounds with everything. 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, which is not bad. I'm just not going to spend $600 and $700 on a sub 2 pound tent with this same amount of space and everything. I like the way the vestibules are made. One's smaller than the other. I use the larger one for my middle of the night bathroom stuff, and then I enter and exit through the smaller one. It's easier to reach this getting out. Thank you, Levi. Great tent, great tent. Now I do, each year before I start hiking again, beginning of the season, I will use Nick Wax on it just to make sure that it remains waterproof. It's a polyester tent. It doesn't stretch when it gets wet like the seal nylon does. And that's one of the main selling points of this tent for me, was that it's polyester. It wouldn't stretch and sag when it gets wet and hold a lot of water. Anyway, it's a good tent. Just thought I'd give you that little update. So any of y'all were just wondering how it's been going over the last 3 years. It's great. It's great. It's a good tent for the price. Much more affordable than the Z-Packs and those other tents. And if you'd like to see more details about the tent, you can go back and look at the first review I did of this tent. In fact, I'll just drop a card right up here, and you can click that and go there. Hey, little guy. You out sunning? Feels good, doesn't it?